Call to order the Board of Commissioners meeting for May 3rd. Joel, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Getting harder and harder to find someone in the audience. Thank you. Roll call.
Chair Chapman?
Here.
Commissioner Lettis?
Here.
Administrator Jones?
Here. And Commissioner Peach is of the Board of Natural Resources. Request for modifications or approval of the agenda if there are.
I have no modifications to ask for.
I move to approve the agenda as presented.
Moved and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Public comment for agenda items. Is there any member of the public wishing to make comment on agenda items? Ken?
Ken 30181 West Fire River Road. I have one question. I didn't see this coming. There's apparently a vacancy on the Trust Lands Advisory Committee. I didn't hear about that, and I apologize for not examining the full agenda, but we expound on that a little bit. We'll get to that point. As far as, do you have a replacement person?
I believe that was a Port Angeles representative.
Okay.
So they recommended a replacement for their
I must have
previous.
heard about that yesterday. Thank you.
Yeah, so they're appointing their Commissioner Connie Bourbet.
Okay.
So they had a vacant. Anybody else wishing to make comment on agenda items? Seeing no one else, reports and consent agenda. Approval of the vouchers for the week of April 25th, then we have the approval of the minutes for the week of April 25th, and the approval of the payroll for the period ending April 15th.
I move to approve the items on the consent agenda.
It's moved and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Reports and presentations, Commissioner Rosales.
Yeah, I've got a couple of short ones. I attended a meeting of the NOP RC&D last week where the bulk of the meeting was a presentation about the Northwest Maritime Center in Port Angeles. And all of the representatives from Clallam County listened to that presentation and thought, how do we get something like that? It's really neat. And just a little fun tip, if any of you followed the Race to Alaska last year, that was the inaugural Race to Alaska. It's a program created by the Northwest Maritime Center. And it is a non-motorized, non-supported boat race between Port Townsend and Ketchikan, Alaska. They leave Port Townsend Harbor in June, and it's a heck of a lot of fun. You can watch all the boats online, and there are everything from fancy composite racing trimarans to someone who does it in a kayak with an outrigger and a sail. So it's a really neat adventure, and I would encourage all of you to check it out, even though it's not in Clallam County. I also attended a meeting of the Salish Behavioral Health Organization, and an interesting issue came up at that meeting. I'm glad you're here, Iva. That's a tri-county organization, Kitsap, Jefferson, and Clallam. And there are behavioral health providers, one in Jefferson County and one in Kitsap County, who would like to begin offering chemical dependency treatment. And the SBHO is working to determine, because things are in such a state of flux right now, whether it's a good idea to look at revising those contracts sort of right in the middle of things. And the feeling had been that it would be a good idea to let things shake out a little bit first before adding that extra layer of complexity. However, particularly in Jefferson County, the behavioral health provider, the type of chemical dependency treatment that they would offer is substantially different from what is currently available. And the Jefferson County Commissioner who serves on that board is pushing pretty hard to revise that stance and look at allowing, at least in her county, the behavioral health organization to start contracting for CD services. So I'll keep all of you appraised as to how that progresses over the summer. We'll probably be revisiting it in August.
I will email you my thoughts on that.
Excellent. Thank you very much. That's all I got.
I have nothing, Jim. Does any other member of staff or electeds have anything you want to report? Contracts and agreements. We have 2A, which is the agreement from the Prosecuting Attorney's Office to allow outside counsel to continue work on one matter of pending litigation. And it's a appointment of a special deputy and an agreement.
All right. I move to approve the agreement from the Prosecuting Attorney's Office to allow outside counsel to continue to work on a matter of pending litigation, specifically Lange et al. Versus Clallam County, etc.
It's moved and seconded to accept this agreement. Is there any further comments? Mark, anything else you want to add?
No, this is a fairly discreet assignment. I think it'll be value-added for the county, and we're hopeful to make some progress with the upcoming litigation.
Great, thank you. Moved and seconded to accept the agreement. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Agreement with Larry and Tammy Witherell to purchase easement for Carlsborg Sewer System Project.
Move to approve the agreement with Larry and Tammy Witherell to purchase easement for the Carlsborg Sewer Project.
It's moved and seconded. Any questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. 2C, agreement with Alder Grove Construction for the Fairgrounds Floral Barn Structural Improvements.
Move to approve the agreement with Alder Grove Construction, Inc. for the Fairgrounds Floral Barn structural improvements.
It's moved and seconded to award this agreement. They were the low bidder. Anything else you want to add, Joel?
No, just it'll be fast track for sure.
Within your budget numbers that you
Yes.
estimated?
It came in over what we anticipated, but we did budget that much for it.
It's moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. 2D is an amendment number 8 with the Department of Health, adding funding. This moves money within existing categories and changes some reported due dates for the on-site septic program. Yep.
It does not add new funding. It adds statement of work items and moves money around to the category that moves money.
It's basically amendment 8.
Right. I will I'm in the
All right, I move to approve Amendment 8 with the Department of Health.
So moved and seconded to accept amendment 8 with the Department of Health. Any further comments, questions? All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. Bids and awards. 3A is a notice of call for bids to be received no later than 10 a.m. May 24th for the Clallam County Courthouse rounding project.
All right, I move that we call for bids to be received no later than 10 a.m. on May 24th, 2016 for the Clallam County Courthouse rounding project.
It's moved and seconded. We work session this last week. Joel, do you have anything else you want to add since then? Moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. And 3B is an award of the contract with Bruck Construction for the crushed rock product supply and authorize the execution of the contracts by the chair of the board once the contractor has approved and signed the contracts and returned them. And this is for $464,737.90.
I move to approve the contract with Bruck Construction for crushed rock product supply and to authorize execution of the contracts by the chair of the board.
It's moved and seconded. Any further comments or questions? You guys have anything you want to add? Nope. Looks like the price is pretty good, but you were estimating pretty close, and 2 really competitive bids.
Very competitive.
Very competitive, yeah. It's moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you very much. Administration, 4A, notice of hearing to be held at 10:30 a.m. May 17th for the private sale of the Lot .22 caliber pistol with 3 magazines. This was brought forward by the Sheriff's Office. This is their process to make these available for private sale so that they can be bought and returned back to the officer as a retirement gift. And public hearing.
Yeah, I move to approve a public hearing to be held at 10:30 a.m. on May 17th for the private sale of pistol and 3 magazines.
Moved and seconded. Any further questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. 4B is a notice of hearing to be held at 10:30 a.m. May 17th regarding the 10-year capital facilities plan. And actually, I think Joel and Jim, you guys kind of brought this forward.
We did, and we had the work session, was the last week, I believe it was, and at the work session, the board asked to have a hearing on the change.
Anything else you want to add, Joel?
Great. In that case, I move to approve the public hearing to be held at 10:30 a.m. on May 17th regarding the 10-year capital facilities plan.
It's moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Possibility Bill won't be back for that, but I think he's pretty aware of this issue. You can touch base with him before the public hearing. I don't think he's not going to be back. 4C is a resolution authorizing expenditure from the Hotel Motel Tax Fund to the Olympic Peninsula Visitor Bureau.
There are three different expenditures here that the LTAC Advisory Committee recommended funding. The funding will come from an unanticipated line item of the budget, so this will not require a budget emergency, and the LTAC committee was unanimously in favor of authorizing these expenditures. So I move to approve the resolution authorizing expenditure from the Hotel Motel Tax Fund to the Olympic Peninsula Visitor Bureau.
It's moved and seconded. Any further comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. 4D is a resolution authorizing mileage reimbursement for members of the Trust Land Advisory Committee. And particularly, do you want to kind of
Yeah,
look at
this was a discussion that the board has had several times since the first of the year, and the determination was made that current policy already authorizes the expenditures. However, nothing in the budget did. And so therefore, we determined that the best way to proceed was for the resolution that you see here, that we did work session last week, that gives some specific rationale as to why this particular volunteer committee, the Trust Lands Advisory Committee, would be authorized for mileage reimbursement, and basically because of the direct linkage to the Charter Review Commission that asked that it be set up, number one. And then number two, we asked the board, or the board was going to take under advisement and include an amount today to authorize a total amount not to exceed. And then once we have that total amount, we'll go ahead, we'll move forward and create the required budget emergency for that amount of money. Because we don't know how much they're going to need, and nor how much the board was comfortable doing. But so we don't have the budget emergency now, but we'll do it once you determine an amount of money. We did include the expenditure status report. You know, there had been some thought that we would be able to use the travel line, which had $5,000 in it, and currently through the end of April 25th, we'd only used about $1,600. However, it was determined that we're on track because of the Board of Natural Resources meetings for the rest of the year. We're on track to use a little over $3,500 of that money already. So we wouldn't need a budget emergency if you only approve $1,500. But the thing is, we don't know how many people are going to use. We have so many people from so many areas. Some people have said they're not interested. Other people have said they are. We just don't know how much they're going to use. So if you did less than $1,500, I don't believe a budget emergency would be necessary. We just have the resolution, and we could take it out of that, and then we do a budget emergency if later it didn't show up to be more than that. And so that was really my recommendation, was that you establish an initial amount of $1,500. If our experience turns out they go a lot longer, because they've already asked for more time, and it turns out to be more money than that, we can come back for a budget emergency at that time. So
Did Commissioner Peach have any comment on this?
when I talked to him about that, and we did that in open session during the work session, he thought that was a good approach. Let's see how it goes, and $1,500 would be enough to do it without a budget emergency at this point, and as we got a feel for it later, if we needed more, we could ask for more at that time. But we would establish the practice and start. I think there's 4 people that have been turning in their requests so far, and I don't know what they add up to yet. I haven't done that. It could be more.
All right. Well, I move to approve the resolution authorizing mileage reimbursement for members of the Trust Lands Advisory Committee in an amount not to exceed $1,500.
Moved and seconded. Any further comments, questions? All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Resolution 4E, resolution appointing member of the Homelessness Task Force, Julianne Muran, for term ending December 31st, 2017.
And I move to approve Julianne D. Moraine as a member of the Homelessness Task Force.
Moved and seconded. All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. 4F, resolution appointing Dale Jackson to the Permanent Advisory Board.
I move to approve appointment of Dale Jackson to the Permit Advisory Board.
It's moved and seconded. Any questions, comments? All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. 4G, resolution reappointing a member, Don Butler, to the Carlsborg Community Advisory Council.
Move to reappoint Don Butler to the Carlsborg Community Advisory Council.
Moved and seconded. Any questions, comments? All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. 4H, resolution reappointing Jeanette Barry Green, medical doctor, to the Clallam County Board of Health.
I move to approve extending Dr. Jeanette Stair Green's at-large membership on the Board of Health to December 31st, 2016.
Moved and seconded. Any questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. 4I, resolution appointing Port Commissioner Connie Beauvais as the Port of Port Angeles representative to the Trust Lands Advisory Committee.
I move to appoint Connie Beauvais to the Trust Lands Advisory Committee.
Moved and seconded. Any questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. No budget, no community development, no public works, no public hearings, public comment. Any member of the public wishing to make general comment? Seeing no one. Review of the calendar is printed, should still stand. 2 commissioners are available for an executive session on May 5th at 1 p.m. Anything else come before the board? If not, we'll continue this week's meeting until next Monday morning, 9 a.m. No objection. So ordered.